Hey, how's it going everybody? Warzo here. Today I was thinking of doing a different type of video. Usually I just do the quest, which, you know, I'm done with the quest. I can always do endless runs, which I think could be interesting. But I wanted to do something that I thought would be interesting, and that is like explaining a little bit the probability, the arithmetics of this fucking game, of like Minesweeper in general, because somebody asked me in the comments. And also I think it would be a fun thing to do. Because I think I've gotten to a point in Minesweeper where like some things, some like situations that require rational thinking, I just kind of do like intuitively because I see them all the time. You know, I play this game fucking constantly. So I was thinking of just going into like hard mode or something. Hard mode, like begin. This is your standard like Minesweeper board. This is like what you get if you don't know how to play Minesweeper. Well, which obviously you fucking do because you're here by now, you know, you didn't like sit there and fucking like jerk your little dick waiting for like any explanation as to like how the game works. So I can pretty much assume that you know that the numbers indicate how many like monsters are adjacent. So if there's a 1 here, then that means there's one monster adjacent. That means it's over there definitely, and you can say that it's not gonna be a monster. You can say, hey, this one is safe. So here's the situation. We have these 3s here, and we also have 3 undiscovered cells that are adjacent to these 3s. Now, we can 100% guarantee that there is a mine here, because if the mines were in any different configuration, the entire situation would not work. I want you to pay attention to this 3 right here that I'm pointing at. This 3 needs to exist, and for it to exist, there needs to be a different configuration of mines down here. You need at least 2 mines like in these 3 squares, right? So all we have to do to solve this 3 is we have to look at all possible scenarios and then determine where the mines are. So we can look at here. If the 2 mines are here, this 3 would be satisfied, that would be good, but this 3 would need to be a 4. So that doesn't work, right? Then you have another configuration of mine. This one works. This 3 is satisfied and this 3 is also satisfied, and nothing is wrong with this. But it's actually incorrect 50% of the time, because you could also have this configuration. This configuration also works. This 3 is a 3, and this 3 is also good. So, as you can see, in both correct situations, there is a mine here. So you can determine that way that there's totally a mine here, right? And this actually can help you. If I didn't know there was a mine here, then I couldn't really advance with this 3 right now. But since I know there's a mine here, I can advance, and I can solve this 50-50. So the point of DemonCrawl, or Minesweeper in general, is really just to internalize these situations, to be able to recognize them at all times. So let's look at another situation right here. I want you to pay attention to these 3s. There is a way to solve these 3s beyond like this 2 down here. You might be saying, oh well, this 2 is satisfied, therefore this mine, this mine, this mine, these are not mines, yeah? But it's actually possible to determine whether or not this one is a mine or not without having this 2 down here. So these 3s are both adjacent to 2 mines. I've already determined that there are mines. So these are basically 1s actually. And this is something that I like to call the rule of 3. This is not like accepted in the DemonCrawl sphere, but it's something that I think about like when I do it. So basically, we can, just like what we did with this situation, is we can determine where the mines are by looking at all possible scenarios. If there is a mine here in order to satisfy this 3, then there also needs to be a mine next to this 3, because this 3 is unsatisfied. So we have to say, if we say there's a mine here, we also have to say there's a mine somewhere in here, in this 50-50 situation, which in any case would invalidate this 3. This 3 would not be correct, it would be a 4, right? So we can say there is not a mine. Wait, no. We can say there is definitely a mine here or here, but not here. And of course, like I said, don't pay attention to the 2. Because the situation was possible to solve even without knowing that information, is what I'm trying to say. I know it looks like I'm just cheating right now. So basically, what playing DemonCrawl boils down to is just recognizing simple patterns and being able to react properly every single time you see them. For example, whenever you see a 5 in a situation like this, you can remember that it's an L pattern and it works every single time, right? Because the thing is, you can solve this situation rationally. You know, you can look at this 5 and say, okay, this is a 5, and I know that it has to have 5 adjacent mines in order to be satisfied, right? So you can say, okay, well, there's 1 mine here, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's solved. Or you can just remember that when you see 5 like this and a pattern like that, it is satisfied. This 5 is already satisfied. All you have to do is freaking mine, is flag all the cells. And basically same thing here. Every time you see this kind of L shape with a 4, you know that it's automatically like this. So expanding on the rule of 3, if we do this right ahead and we discover that this is a 1, because we figured out that the third one cannot be a mine possibly, we get this piece of information. This one right here is surrounded by only 2 cells. The cells could be, the monsters could be here or could be here. And knowing this, we know that this one is definitely satisfied by either this one or this one. And this information tells us that these 3 are not mines. But it doesn't go any further than that. At this point, you have to just like figure out some other way whether this one is, or this one is a mine. But another thing that you can do with the rule of 3 is that, as you can see, I discovered that this one wasn't a mine, and then I have this situation. I have this situation where either this one or this one can be a mine. So you can chain rules of 3s and discover like a little bit more information. Sometimes information is not going to be useful, but if you know what works and what doesn't, you can just like try to juice the lemon, trying to like squeeze the lemon for as much stuff as you can get, and sometimes it can actually help you. As you can see, I used it here already. These are 1s. So I went ahead, I did 3 already. It's instinct. That's what it comes down to mostly, is just remembering what works and committing it to muscle memory, being able to like go super fast. It's what allows you to shred through the boards like I do, because I'm so good. I'm hot shit, you know? As you can see, I just did it again. I didn't even realize that I was doing it. I understand this is slightly pretentious, you know? My first video, DemonCrawl, but I'm actually good at Minesweeper. Got like a lot of bad reception, and I understand that. I did come off as like annoying in that video, but these skills are undeniable. Let's see, rule 3? So just know that I don't mean to be condescending when I make this video. I don't mean to like act superior to any person in general. I just mean to like do something that I thought would be interesting, and also I'm responding to a comment that inspired me, you know. You guys always give me the best feedback. Have fun with it, experiment, check it out, but keep in mind that you really just need to enjoy the basic game of Minesweeper. If you're gonna get good at DemonCrawl, the simple act of clearing mines needs to be like somewhat satisfying to you, because otherwise there's no way you're gonna like sit around and talk about like synergies and all that kind of stuff if in the end it just really isn't that satisfying to clear the board for you. So either way, check out DemonCrawl. It's a really good game. A lot of items, a lot of a high ceiling for synergies, right? A lot of craziness, a lot of zaniness. You're able to like really push the game to its boundaries sometimes when you get a combination of items. It's really similar to Binding of Isaac and like I want to say Slay the Spire, in the way that you can kind of steamroll into something amazing, so in a situation that it's basically impossible to lose. And of course the main gameplay, the rough mechanics of it are really satisfying. My only, and this is, I've repeated this like throughout my gameplay series, my only problem with DemonCrawl is the fact that clicking sometimes doesn't like immediately open a cell. I think if you click on a cell but you move your cursor away like a couple of centimeters, if you move it off the cell, it won't actually open the cell, and this is my only complaint with the game. Extremely interesting stages, great music all around, great visuals as well. Extremely like friendly user interface, modifiable difficulties, everything you could want from a game. You've also got that element of permanent upgrades, you know, in Binding of Isaac and Rogue Legacy. You unlock things as you go, and in this you have tokens, which I think is an interesting thing. You know, you can unlock different types of avatars, so big replayability in that sense. I dig it, you dig it, it's all good, it's all Gucci. What the fuck are you doing here? Get out there! Live your fucking life.